for the King PayPal. Yeah, it was up there. What did it say about it? That was set up by Dana J and was taken over by the attorney.
Good morning, good morning, good morning to you all. Okay, good morning to you all. I pray that you all are doing well here this morning. Just checking to make sure we are in there. Okay, just checking to make sure we are in there. Let me go back. I'm missing something. Okay, yeah, I am in there. Yeah, I'm on my live. Okay. So anyway, y'all, I just wanted to come and acknowledge some things with you about American Music Awards and how we are so allowing things to just get so away from us. You know, things that I already spoke about this yesterday, but I'm just strolling, y'all. You gotta excuse me. Just getting up in the morning. It's 6:47 a.m. in the morning. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and also try to be glad in it. God didn't have to do it, but He did it anyhow. Woke us up this morning, allow us to see a day we never seen before. Kept us safe as we slept and we slumbered last night in our beds. Also, His protection over our lives and our loved ones. And we are in His presence again this day. And let's go into our Father's prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day, Lord, our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses. We forgive those who have trespassed against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thou you are the kingdom, also the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Yeah, so I just needed to go over some things with you all about this American Music Awards ceremonies that be going on throughout the year. Every year, everybody is being honored for their work and their achievements and what they brought to the culture of music and how it blend and something that American people just really enjoy. And once you bring something new to us, that's when we can, a new sound, a new style to it, a new whatever. That's when you could recognize it as something that's foreign and something that just came from somewhere that immigrated to America. So what I'm saying here is that I don't really truly think that Shabuzi should have really gotten that award. As an American person, as someone who never heard about him until this award ceremony came out, never heard of this dude. Where he came out of nowhere with this acceptance of an award and gonna get on stage and just sit up there and disrespect American people and say immigrants built America. That's so disrespectful, and I'm pretty sure it was a disrespect to white people as much as it was disrespectful to American people. I mean, to Black Americans, and that's the American, you know, insult right there altogether. Because before you can even give honor to these American awards or whatever you get, you have to get through us first. You have to know how to recognize Black America's creativity and the things that we brought into the culture of America here, from country music to the gospel to, you could say, to the blues to folk tales and everything, how those field country Black folks, when they was in them doggone fields working, they created their own songs. how they created a way to communicate throughout the day to get through their day. They sung in the fields. They sung for Massa. They sung at Massa's banquets and Massa dances and Massa's parties and performances and everything. They will bring the slave in to entertain with music. The fiddler, remember fiddler? Fiddler's country, part of folktale, country music, whatever, from the fields and the gospel, or sitting out on the on the in the back of the house and everything, beating pots and pans and making those instruments, or doing hambo, with the hands, taking their hands and doing their hand claps and everything, the way they used to clap their hands and dance and they little country dance from playing the fiddler and whatever instruments they used back then that gave them rhythm. So Shabuzi really did not bring anything new to America. So him to get up on the stage to talk about him being an immigrant, building America. When you come to build America, it's something you add to the fabric, baby. You didn't add anything to the fabric. You only thing you did was add yourself to the culture here. You added yourself to the American culture here because country music was already foundational, Black America's foundation of music. That was our music. We sung in those fields, our ancestors. So you didn't add anything new to America that was already here. You see, immigrants don't build America. You come and you come a part of the family of the American culture here. And one thing we do once we come to America and we are saturated in it, we don't go back to being an immigrant. We get up and say, thank God for those, you stay on the country music history and giving thanks for that award for those who have paved the way, know something about the music. You didn't have to get up there and say no political protests and try to come out talking about something you don't know what the heck you talking about. You are not saturated in America yet. Your parents are immigrants that came to the United States, and we don't even know if they were legally immigrants. You were anchor baby. And you want to call yourself American when you were anchor baby. You a first generation. A first generation to an American. So there's an anchor baby. Both your parents are immigrants, not you. And what did they bring to the United States culture? What did they bring to the American culture but just having you become a firstborn from the generation of Nigerian children to be born in freaking America? To add more problems on America, right? More babies to feed and to educate and to house and to clothe and to also give health care to and everything else just for the American resources. You ain't bring nothing to America. You came here as an anchor baby. Now, if your parents came on a work visa or on some kind of visa for school when they got here and they just didn't want to go back to their own Nigerian culture because they got so comfortable here and they got and felt, started a life here and everything. See, it's a difference of being an American. Because when you sit on that stage and you start talking, accepting awards that were made in the USA, because those are the American Grammys, American awards, the American Music Awards, the BET Awards, the Soul Train Music Awards, the Oscars, the yeah, the Motown Music Awards, whatever you want to. That is all made in the USA. That did not come from Nigeria. If I could see if you would have brought High Life and brought a new sound to High Life to America from your Nigerian culture, that would have been made a difference. And then you could sit up there and say, yes, as an immigrant, we welcome this gift of our music, of High Life. giving back thanks to, some of the things that our ancestors taught us, and we come here to share that with you. If that would have been nice to say, but don't come here talking about you taking something, you gonna hijack something that was never yours, something you didn't even bring here to America, until trying to say is an immigrant brought it here. Because an immigrant did not bring country music to America. American country music is from the Texas, and you say a disrespect to some of the good country artists that were out there. You could at least recognize Dolly Parton, and who my mother used to like, Kenny, um something Kenny. My father used to play all them country songs. My mother, her father, her peoples, my mother, her grandparents, not her grandparents, but her like aunties and uncles, like our great aunts and uncles, like our ancestors. Yes, they used to sit around and play that old country stuff. They went into all kind of different generations of music. Music has changed throughout history, and our stories were always there. As it changed around to whatever culture, we ain't got nothing going on in your music. Nothing. That should tell you something about your story here. Now, I know about some of your so-called great artists back from Sonny Okoso, or, talking about Fela Kuti. Somebody like that, you should have been piggybacking on bringing their music here to the United States of America, because that's a Nigerian well-known artist in Nigeria. He was one of the known artists here in America, and it was introduced to me. Now, if you would have brought it and introduced your Nigerian culture of music, thrown in there like with a little bit of American style to it, that's one thing. But you didn't bring that. You brought something that's already here. And you trying to say you gonna come out here and say win an award that you did not even win on merit, to get on a stage and talk about immigrants built America when you didn't even bring nothing here? Only thing you brought here is that you were born here as an anchor baby. Anchor baby. You didn't bring nothing here. And I hope President Trump and his administration with Doge go and check out your parents' citizen papers and stuff. Yeah, go check you out to see if you are a citizen for real, because they are, re-invoking some immigrants who came here. They going back a certain amount of time, who came here and had anchor babies, and they never really became citizens, but they've been living here. They just dragged the woman out of here. The woman been living in the United States 30 years. Her mother and her father brought them here, but they filed their citizenship, and they here in the United States as citizens. And her parents are, that she brought here, but she lived here 30 years without being filing for her citizenship. She was probably here on a work visa, temporary work visa, for a certain amount of time. And I think they do, like, if you can bring your family over to the country, it's something that you bring your family, dual citizenship, where you can also have a family come and stay with you while you out here for whatever amount of time, and they could get a permit, a visa to come and stay out here with you, like your parents, or if you got kids, whatever. Yep. And they never really completed their citizenship. They never really became real true citizens. She was here 30 years, and you know what? She was a nurse in the whole nine in the hospital, and they dragged her ass right on out of there. So Shabuzi was not being very wise and very smart, getting on a stage on the American culture. I haven't been watching, to be honest with you. I stopped watching Grammys and the music awards and everything. Not only just because R. Kelly, okay, has been incarcerated, and he's always been one of the greatest performers that ever performed in these award shows. Every time, him, Michael Jackson, all the greats. Mm-hmm. Prince, people that had really pleased their fans as they came out and gave performances. And then in those days, Music awards were different. Like I said, I'm 60 years old, so I've been here to see some things through history and how things have changed. And we used to watch the music awards. It was exciting. People were classy. People came out and showed American in such a great and beautiful way. People loved America. America was so beautiful. Even through all the ugly things going on behind the scene of America, you couldn't even see it. That's how beautiful America was. That's how good America was. All the love, all of real true love. People in America back in the days now, they stuck together. Black communities were really, really united together. They were strong. They was not nothing like it is today. The crazy shit you see going on in today's communities, and I'm talking about black people were poor. Mm? Dirt poor. But everybody all put together. Everybody all put their resources together and build. They were really the church, everything. You ain't hear all the scandal. Oh, the preacher doing this with the money. The preacher doing that with the money. Yeah, that shit was happening, but not with every church. There was not every church doing that. Some people were really putting their money and everything together for the needs of the people. They would really go out there and visit families and see about the elders and have programs for the young people, get involved and all of that. That's the kind of church I remember growing up in. That's probably why I talk so harshly about a lot of churches today, because I don't see that kind of affect, that kind of love and giving and kindness in the place of fellowship like that anymore. In some of these churches, people just became very selfish, very greedy. Me, my problems, my victimhood, my whatever. And it's just gotten out of the control where people don't even care about going to the grave early anymore. I'm like, what? I'm going to try to hold out as long as I can. I don't know where the hell I'm going. You know? It's like that's how hopeless and dark and evil the spirits of people became today. And when I say people, I'm talking about the young generation. Because I don't see nothing going on for them in the future. They just seem to be very dark and evil. They seem to be wanting to get to the grave early. All the insane things they be doing. Everybody and their mama got a gun. I tell people, you try to stay away from that stuff. You don't try to praise that stuff. Don't idolize it. Because guns, whether you want to believe it or not, have a spirit. It comes with a spirit. It can really come with an evil spirit on it. So, because when you got a gun, it's meant to do something. Something that ain't good, something that is evil. It's not something good. A gun ain't gonna just, you know, make a shot at you, and chances are for you to live. Okay, but I'm just saying, you just got to be careful about idols and things that you possess around you, because those things start to become um, demonic and evil. I couldn't believe some of the homicides that I've watched lately. Whew, since I've been home, I watch a lot of things on TV, y'all, and some things like forensics, crime stories, just things that might have happened not too long ago. Now I don't go too far back. Just recent things that's happening out in the world, and I can't believe how many children have killed family members, relatives, uncles, grandfathers, grandmothers. You know, I'm saying it's been some horrific, disturbing stories on family that's rising against each other and killing each other. Unbelievable. I rarely ever heard of anything like that. Coming up as a child, living into that type of, growing up. Only thing we had to worry about when we were coming up is getting our butt home on time so we don't get punished or get our ass whooping. That was basically in following, things that you're supposed to do. If that wasn't something you did that you knew you were supposed to do, you got yourself on punishments. Remember getting on punishments, being not able to go outside, it'd be a nice day, be something going on, and you want to be out there, but you can't because you're on punishment. That was suffering. You be in the house in the room, reading a book, maybe can't really watch no TV. Turn that TV off. Ain't no TV was in your room. You had to go sit in a room with a book and you ain't had no other choice but play with your doll babies, sit down and write down something you felt in your heart, say some mean things about a family member that you hate, or what they made you feel like at that moment, just to get your feelings out. That's how we dealt with regulating ourselves or just calming down and just finding some sanctuary or whatever we had to do to sit down and think about some of the things we might have done wrong and correct them and move on and fight to see another day. Now, they ain't saying there was no serial killers out there back then. There were, but we didn't hear about it so much. It wasn't out there in the atmosphere so much to damaging to the minds of people. And that's what we became in society now. It's like every time you turn on your TV, you either hearing about politics, Donald Trump is doing blase, blase this, and the Democrats, and everywhere you go now on the TV says sometimes I just gotta go back to old school movies and old school programs just to get away from what's going on out there in that world right now. Just to say, escape all of that noise, all of that unnecessary, dumb stuff that don't make no sense. The law is the law. People need to go back to their country. They don't want to leave out of the United States. They want to stay, but then again, they want to hate America. I mean, all the crazy bickering, crazy shit. So it don't make no goddamn sense. The law is the law. Immigration is every country you live in. You got to respect the law of the land. It is what it is. And we shouldn't be wasting too much time on the bullshit. Do what you got to do, Donald Trump. If they don't belong here, just get them the fuck up on out of here. That's it. That's it. They just got to go. That's always been the law. That's been every president had to do with immigration policy, follow that part of the law and every election. That's how it shows you how far people pay attention to really what politics is all about and what this kind of position that holds the United States together is all about. And when the law has to be enforced, then things got to be enforced because there was some criminal activities that took place in this last election and it has to be cleaned up. We don't know who's living in our country. Borders were opened. They were letting anything and everything in this country just to vote, giving them passes to vote and everything, driver's license, ID, whatever, and that's not helpful. See what I'm saying? That's not fair to the American people. Trying to change the fabric of this culture here and do what they want to do. Oh no, we in this. If you an American, anything that people say today, and it don't sound American, you're gonna question it. And this is what I said about Shabuzi and his comments at an award show, which it shouldn't have even been a conversation on politics whatsoever. I like the fact that one gentleman who did accept his award there did not want to be a part of that. Or he don't know nothing about politics. And he says, I stay off of that because that's something I don't do. You know what I'm saying? All I know about is the music artists, and some people just don't want to be a part of it. Some people are being bullied and being a part of something they just don't want to be a part of because they don't really know what the freak they get into. And I think it's wrong to be making people be pushed into believing in something they really don't want to take part in. If they come there for the awards, let it be about whatever the acceptance of the award category is. They know the history behind the songs or the music or the generation or whatever of the music. Stick to the damn script. Don't get off the script. You don't know nothing about politics. You don't know nothing about immigrants building America and all that dumb shit you don't set out your mouth. That's insulting to the culture here, because Country Music Awards is the American culture. And me personally think that that award should be reinvoked. It should be stripped from him. Shouldn't be accepting an American award from an American cultural generation of music, or music that came from the American roots. Okay, that you're going to get up there and say some dumb shit out your mouth like that, and you ain't bring nothing new to the damn fabric. I wish what they should come and take that goddamn award away from his dumb funky ass and let him go to Nigeria and bring country music over there so that they can give him a good award for what he brought back to his own homeland. See, they want to come here and strip us and take every fucking thing from Black Americans. They want to take the credit. They want to put in a funky ass. You didn't bring nothing new here, boo-boo. You brought something that was already here. Country music is already American music. And American music from the fields with slaves. Everything y'all trying to bring in our face to try to claim that is yours and be stealing, we know it belongs to us. That's why we want your funky ass up on out of here. Y'all be trying to steal our music and our everything. Go to your country and stay there. Try to make a life over there for yourself to be better. Figure it out. Anyway, and it's not about being selfish. It's not about being mean. It's just enough is enough. Like they be trying to come steal our history and stuff, and we just be peeping them. We be knowing what they be doing. You a first generation Nigerian born here. You a anchor baby. Anchor babies. Everybody go. Y'all need to go look up anchor babies. First generations are not considered a full rooted American. They just somebody that still they the firstborn. They not even that much American. They still following traditions and cultures and tribalism from the culture they came from their own country. They not trying to be American. They trying to steal American culture and change American culture. Everything that was about Black Americans that they came here to try to claim that is theirs. They try to change the name of our food and shit. That slopping, nasty slop shit they be eating. That slimy shit. That shit look like slime. And they be sitting on the TV, actually sitting down, eating that nasty shit. It looks really disgusting. With their fucking hands. It don't look good. Food with your hands don't look good all the time. It's just nasty. It's unhygienic. Me being American, certain foods you gotta eat with your fingers. We get it. Ribs, some, them good barbecue ribs you get on the grill in the summertime at the barbecue. And you like your barbecue baby back ribs, whatever. You gotta eat that, of course. Ribs, chicken, things of that type of food. Apples, oranges, pears, fruits, you name it. A sandwich. Okay. Those type of foods, finger foods like sandwiches, french fries. Some people eat their french fries with a toothpick. Some even eat it with a fork. Back in the days in America, yeah, they used to give you the French fries with a little fork. Remember, you used to stick it down in there, put that ketchup on there, and eat them fries with a fork at the carnivals and stuff. Yeah, we used to eat the French fries with a fork. You come with a long little fork. We really, I don't know, people just started doing it with their hands. I guess it was easier with the than with the fork. Because of the kids. It was hard for kids to use them fine motors to dig in there, so they start eating it with their hands. So the kids just grew up just eating it with their hands. So adults started following from the kids. But anyway, like I'm saying, we got to start recognizing when people are doing things that they're stepping out of boundaries with, and they not being respecting the culture, the land. They don't respect the American government here, and that's not cool. And then you got American people that's edging this on. And if they want to feel that way, then maybe they need to go and live in these people countries or live somewhere else. You don't have to be doing all of that at award shows, like things just interrupting things that really makes America really have a wonderful experience. Going to a award show, watching them on TV, talking about their dresses, talking about whatever you saw there that, hey, giving your criticism or whatever, or giving your props about, recognizing what the artists do and stuff. That's what these award shows now turn into, a bunch of misfits. A bunch of misfits. Nobody knows who they are. They all on drugs. They all a part of some, probably doing something, the Diddy parties, and you know what I'm saying. The things that go on after those awards and how these celebrities get together with one another, they just pigs. So who really would want to pay attention to what they have to voice about in politics? Anything related to politics. They don't live in the world where it's morally right, you could say. They just don't live in that world. They don't believe in taking any rules, living by any kind of rules. They too liberal. They too want to do what they want to do with a free so-called socialist, whatever society. Just weird and crazy shit. I don't even know. I don't even know nothing about a socialist and a communist or whatever, or a Marxist or whatever. I just don't damn know. A fascist. To be honest with you, I couldn't tell you. But I just don't get that deep. But the thing is that the way they think to me is just not normal. It just don't sound normal. It just don't look normal. It just don't act normal. Okay? So it is what it is. And no matter how you try to tell them they don't sound normal, they get even more. Oh my God. They get even more aggressive with it. They try to come up with something more stupid to do. That's just, it's like everything they do, it's just right there. Like this dude Shabuzi came out of no damn where. Some bought paid acting Nigerian with whatever would do a script for them and get an award for them and get some controversial shit going. But nobody give a fuck about a Shabuzi. I'm not gonna go look for who Shabuzi music sound the fuck like. I hear it. But other than that, I'm not trying to look his ass up. Because people that win on those kind of merits don't really interest me on that level. Sound like a criminal to me. And sound like his immigration status need to be checked the fuck out. That's all I got to say. Well, anyway, y'all, something else I wanted to share here with you all. Here's Shabuzi. I did this yesterday on a gram. So I just wanted to just share that with you this morning. We still on that conversation as we go forward and celebrating Black History Month. But Shabuzi had got us lit. Okay? Shabuzi has gotten us lit. So we don't want to hear no more from Shabuzi talking shit about right. So we don't want to hear no more about Shabuzi talking on anything that he brought here to the United States of America. If anything, this stuff was already here when he got here. He just added himself to the American culture. He did not build America. No immigrant built America. Okay? They came here and they add themselves to the American culture. Hello, let's get it right, boo boo. Because the music that he won this supposedly award for was already here in America, not from Nigeria. So he brought nothing here that wasn't already here. So what did he bring to America that he said he built America the fuck with? What? I don't get it. That don't make no damn sense. You were paid motherfucking somebody to become a celebrity or whatever because nobody heard of you. That's how come we know you paid. You ain't somebody that really pulled yourself up from your bootstraps and had a long history here in America from an ancestry of a long history and then was able to connect to your maybe West African roots from your West African culture. But you didn't, boo boo. You are firstborn generation of a Nigerian from your family tree, lineage, whatever, here in the United States of America with your parents. And then on top of that, we don't even know if your parents were legally supposed to be here because you could be an anchor baby. And you just grew up here. I told you, they just dragged that damn nurse out of here. 30 goddamn years in the United States and they never come a citizen. It's a whole lot of motherfuckers. They ain't never been a citizen and they been living here on a work visa and they work visa has expired. And they never filed for citizenship. They just updated their status as they work visa or school visa or whatever it is. They're not citizens. So anyway, as we're going to continue to talk about this, as time continue to unfold, more and more things will start coming out. Everybody's on this Don Lennon thing. I already told you this Don Lennon. What's behind the Don Lennon thing? Who is behind all of this? Who's pushing this? Behind the LGBTQ community, okay? With this Minnesota shit. Because Trump is removing all of this rainbow shit out the way. So they mad. And they hide in these little organizations and these groups and they all get together fighting over the things that they feel being threatened about. They LGBTQ, whatever rights or whatever it is. I don't live in that community. I don't know what that community is all about. As far as what the most people that are in that fight for Renee Good and for the Alex Pretty and weirdos like that and these people that's supposed to be professionals but then they idiots. They professional protesters. They don't even know how to be a fucking professional protester because the shit they doing is just really don't give. Even the professional protesters be saying this shit is crazy. Okay, I'm not going to be a part of that. That's not protesting. Professional protesters are making videos actually saying they wouldn't even participate in those protests in Minnesota. That's how bad it is. Saying this is not protesting. They talk about there are boundaries. There's a line you don't cross. Da 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 da. And I'm talking about people that actually go to get protesting and get bailed out. They just go there to be agitators and they get paid to protest. And they lose that as a professional job for them. But they don't fuck with every protest. Because not every protest you think is a protest is a protest. It could be some other shit going on. That's a lot more, some dangerous shit. A peaceful protest, what they do is they stand out there, they protest, they yell, they scream. but there's a line they don't cross. These protesters you see in the Minnesota areas and stuff, they be going across the line. They be going way beyond the boundaries. Okay, these are professional protesters that give you all the information and say, "Look, this is what I do," and I'm telling you now, these are not motherfucking protesters. Because these people are some weirdos. These people ain't normal. And Trump already said they would let out of mental institutions. You can look at them people and can tell those people don't look well. You can look at their face and can tell they don't look well. And then you're going to introduce this man, Alex Preety, as a nurse, and he works in trauma, ICU, and stuff like that. And like those considered trauma areas to me in the medical field. And these are the kind of people taking care of your wounds and seriousness why people get shot up and don't make it because these people don't got no damn brains. They don't know what to do. They just scream and trauma. You got these kind of spirits working on your body while you laid out on some doggone threatening life and death gurney and they don't know what the hell to do. EMS worker, nurses, whatever, to give you the right IV, take your right blood pressure, continue to pump air into you or whatever if you losing your breathing apparatus. And these are the kind of people gonna care for your health while you laid out in the hospital and shit. Damn. That shit is scary. People like a Alex Preety was out there kicking out headlights in the vehicles of ICE agents and spitting in them. And I didn't, when they showed that video, I said, that's what he was out there doing? Oh, hell to the no. And then had the nerve to have a gun and and two magazines on you while you protested. A gun owner too. Whew, not that he was going to probably try to use them. Yeah. But anyway, y'all, I'm going to get up on out of here. But I just wanted to correct some immigrant. And we're going to continue to correct these immigrants as they come along with their scheme and scams. Because remember, the devil is always looking for another opportunity to catch you off guard on your moment of weakness. That's what Satan does. And these people are satanic. You hear me? These so-called people today are satanic. They will do anything to lie, steal, kill, whatever, or destroy to have their way with whatever they want to have their way with. That's why I am not sleeping on none of them. I just don't sleep on them. I said statement on awards accepted in music. We spoke on that. People gonna learn their motherfucking history today. They're gonna learn who really built America. I said statement on award acceptance and music legacy. Award stages are meant to honor artistic excellence, innovation, and contributions to the genre being celebrated. I gotta put on my glasses, y'all. Excuse me. Up this early in the morning. I'm getting old. I can't see that well without my glasses. Okay. Being celebrated. When an artist wins a country music award, the moment should highlight the music, the sound, the storytelling, the musicianship, and what was brought creatively to the genre. Recognition should be rooted in merit, the work, the impact, and how the artist advanced or honored the traditions of style they are representing. If a performer introduces a new blend of sound, fresh perspective, or musical evolution, that is what deserves the spotlight. Acceptance speeches are powerful because they become part of the cultural record. They can uplift the craft, the genre's history, and the people who built the musical foundation that allowed the moment to happen. When speeches shift heavily into political messaging, it can feel disconnected from why the award was given in the first place. Country music, like many American genres, has deep roots, including gospel, folk, blues, and regional storytelling tradition. Respecting those musical origins while contributing something new is what strengthens the genre and keeps it growing. Music is the unfair unifier. I'm sorry. Music is the unifier. The award is for the art, and the stage is for honoring the craft. See, this is what the music awards used to be like. When did music awards start turning into political protests? When? Now they have done things like they wanted to boycott some type of music awards. Was it the Grammys? We're gonna go do some history, okay? Let's do this. We're gonna do some history. When wait, I'm gonna say what music awards did there we go. It's the Grammys, y'all. It's always been that black people always felt the Grammy awards were always coming like they don't really recognize our work. All of a sudden, the Grammys going to recognize the work of this artist here. It's somebody nobody ever heard of. And they brought him in just to be a part on some shit with protesting about this fucking immigrant shit. This is what they do, y'all. It says black artists have primarily targeted the Grammy Awards for boycotts and public criticism due to recurring concerns over racial bias, lack of recognition for black talent in major categories, and transparency issues. High profile historic and recent instances include 1989 Grammys. Hip hop artists led by Russell Simmons and Def Jam boycotted the ceremony because the inaugural rap performance award was not televised. 2021 Grammys. The Weeknd announced a boycott, refusing to submit the music for consideration after being completely snubbed despite critical acclaim. Other notable rebukes: Frank Ocean refused to submit his album Blonde in 2017, calling this award system dated. Artists like Drake, Kanye West, and Beyonce have also expressed criticism or frustration regarding the Grammy treatment of black artists. Core issue: critics have cited a poor record of honoring black artists for top awards, album of the year, and a lack of diversity in the recording academy voting committees. Yep, everybody, I knew it was the Grammys. Black people have always felt the Grammys have been unfair in using their good judgment and honoring people their awards that they do deserve. And they will put the most shadiest fuck, like this Shabuzi guy. That's why I knew something was off. I was like, wait a minute. Nobody ever heard of this dude. It wasn't like the people ever spoke of him, and he was selling out at concerts, and he was just doing a lot of PR, or he was just really out there selling his music, his sound, and everything else. People were always talking about his name. People were giving his name. Nobody heard of him before. So how the hell he gonna get up there on the Grammy and accept the award in country music as a Nigerian born in America and make some dumb comment like a remark or a speech? I knew it was something off about that, because I said usually when people win awards like that and they get nominated or even become a winner, for these Oscars. People are out there. You hear the voice of the people. And when you hear the voice of the people, that means you hear the artist all the time being mentioned in something. Like somebody name out there, like if Drake is out there doing something, people are talking about Drake's new song. Drake is, oh, that new sound Drake got out there. Oh, Drake has got that. Yeah, Drake got that shit sold, that game tied up. Yeah, did it up. You don't hear no shit, no shabuzi shit like that. Nobody talked of this dude. He is somebody that they are pushing in the people, pushing on the people something that they manufacturing. Because he's not something that is authentic. He's not real. There's nobody ever heard of him. When R. Kelly was out there winning Grammys and shit, like people knew his name. He started from somewhere, from a group and public announcement and all that other shit. You know, people knew him. He had his name before he had his name. See, y'all, I'm getting clogged up because I'm catching this cold. I was out there in that weather yesterday. But y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all know exactly where I'm going here in this conversation. I can't say it no louder for the people in the back to hear. It's so easy to see. This guy come from nowhere to sit up on a black day or black. This shit was planned. This shit was planned, y'all. This shit was like, oh, it's Black History Month. And you see all of these black people who always had an issue with the Grammys, with their racial profiling and shit. Yep. Because people never win fairly in that damn, in the Grammys. People don't win fairly in it. They just don't. I don't think so. That's why I stopped watching it. Most of the time when I used to watch awards back in the days when I watched awards and everything, y'all, I'm be honest. It was when it was the Jackson 5 that was performing. The Jackson 5 would come out and perform, or they was at the Grammys. The Temptations. You know, when you go back in my mother's times, that's when we used to watch the Grammys. We used to watch the Grammys. Let me see if I could go and do one. Yeah, I could probably look one up. Let's look up something. The Grammys and the Grammys with the Supremes. Let's go to the Supremes. We're gonna take it back then. And they were excellent. Black excellence. That's when it was really like black excellence. Even if they wasn't winning whatever, but they sure shined. Now I want to see 2026. We got to go back. No, I need something way back. They don't have one? No, we don't need that one. I need one, a real old one. If I could find one, let's go. Yeah, this is 88. We could go that far.
Like people to look up to and try to be like them, or even to try to be different than them. We had to try to make a new road for ourselves. And I think in doing that, I think we did something that is still there. You know, it's a kind of music career that I'm proud of. I'm proud of the work that we've done. And the work that I've done, I'm happy about, that.
Diana, could you tell us about your feelings about being inducted into the Hall of Fame, since we weren't able to talk to you about it that night?
I was very excited about it. I had to call Ahmed. I was really thrilled about it. Just the idea to be remembered like that. Hall of Fame, I mean, And then you think about it, have you really done enough in your life to be rewarded in that kind of way? And we had wonderful years with the Supremes and wonderful work. I'd love to be able to reproduce some of those big hit records we had then. It was a wonderful time. And I missed that time, too. I missed the family relationship with Motown, and I miss all of that.
Business has changed a lot in the last 20 years, for the better or for the worse?
I think in some cases, downhill, but for the most part, for the better. I think we're a lot more efficient as an industry. We're putting out better records. We're a lot more select. as an industry. And the artistry is
I'm not crazy
extraordinary.
about it myself. No, I just feel like there's a lot of artists getting lost because of the big machinery that's happening. The family organizations are kind of disappeared, like an independent company like Motown. To me now, they're distributing somewhere else, and I feel like a lot of artists don't get to be played on MTV, and I feel like a lot of things have been lost because of the bigness of it all. I don't think the family kind of relationship is there now. To me, with RCA, now that Bertelmann's has bought it, I never know who to talk to there. I say that here. But and then I don't know a lot at CBS. I heard the Sony's bought that. It's so big. I know that if artists feel like I feel, it's kind of hard to find where your direction are. Who are the people that are in management these days? You really don't know.
Well, one of
But your company's different.
Well, one of the real charming parts
Okay,
of
y'all, that's
yesteryear
enough of
was
that.
you could have a
I
record.
wanted to
know,
find
and the
a
Maybe they
sound.
could
time when
never
they
be-
was accepting their awards and how they got on the stage and did acceptance back then. How people were classy and it wasn't all that political nonsense going on. We didn't have all the political crazy nonsense at the time back then. That's what I was basically looking for here. I try to say the Supremes. I'm trying to see Grammys back then in a year. Let me try it that way. Let's say Grammys back in I'm gonna say 1980s. Here's one with Michael Jackson.
Grammys, album of each year.
I don't care what you say anymore. This is my life. Sailing takes me away to away. Just like starting over. Rosanna, Rosanna, I didn't know you were the feeling changed and my love. She just all night, all night. I can call you Betty, Betty when you call me, you can call me out. Yes, I gotta have faith. I gotta have faith.
You see, now look, back then when they did these music shows and everything, they would give highlights of all the music that they would do, what they competing for, whatever song that was played from that album, and they would give you the category of the album that this person made and the music and the that's how they did it. And look, it was George Michael was hot that year with that song Faith, Michael Jackson, Billie Jean, of course, All Night Long with the Commodores with Lionel Richie, and they give you like who you was competing with in your style of country music. And the thing is that in that category, and sometimes even if your album was running for years and years and years, like sometimes some people albums stayed on the top of the chart even when the album was like there for 2 and 3 years. That album was still selling. Like Michael Jackson, he was
Grammys, album of each
we all
year.
know Michael Jackson,
What you say anymore? This
and competition was really, really hot then. Look, this is how they did the Grammys back then.
Andy, I am so happy that we do not have to pick the record of the year.
it's already done for us.
Wow. And it's incredible talent. Jerry Rafferty,
Absolutely super.
Chuck Mangione,
The best.
Billy Joel,
Far out.
Anne Murray,
Fantastic.
and the Bee Gees.
Who?
You could have at least said heavy.
They ain't heavy.
And
They're my brother.
the record of the year is awarded to the artist and producer. The nominees are Jerry Rafferty for Baker Street, Hugh Murphy Murphy, Jerry Rafferty, producers.
We down the street, there's a man in his place. He opens the door, he's got that look on his face, and he asks you where you've been. You tell him it's
Chuck Mangione for Feels So Good. Chuck Mangione, producer.
Now, see how they doing the music awards? They give it some kind of cultural part to it. You know how they blend their culture in there. Chuck Mangione, he was probably some kind of Latino culture, and he put his little instrumental part to it, and in a song and everything. So these is how they competed. Who did this Shabuzi compete with? Let's go on.
Billy Joel, for Just the Way You Are. Phil Ramone, producer.
times of trouble. We never could have come this far.
And see, back then, everybody had their own unique sound. What they were bringing to the song, to the music, and how it was touching and reaching their listeners that were listening, their fan base, whatever. That's how we used to rate winnings of songs and music of artists and everything, by people rating them. These people, nobody heard of Shabuzi. Back in the days when these artists were coming up, people heard of them. Their songs were played on the radio. Their songs will always be hitting on the radio. And you'll be always hearing the disc jockey or whoever always giving them a shout out about their name and having them interview on their platform or whatever. Nothing for this man to be a winner of anything. Now, this is Andy. We already know. We see Donna Summers and we also see Andy Gibbs. Andy Gibbs, of course, we know is the baby brother, younger brother somewhere of the Bee Gees. The Bee Gees. But Andy, he's the youngest one. He had his own little part that he did, and he didn't do too well with it. He stand out on his own. But the brothers and everything, Barry was the group. The brother Barry. But I guess Andy wanted to be the one. And Barry was the one who was the group. And to me, and we already know by them giving this award right here, the winner is the Bee Gees. The Bee Gees got them all beat because the Bee Gees was very, very hot back in these days. And so was Donna Summers because she was hot with the disco. And you got to remember the Saturday Night Live movie with John Travolta, Motion. They did that whole album basically on that movie, the soundtrack of that movie. So the Bee Gees got this.
Bee Gees for Staying Alive. Bee Gees, Carl Richardson, Albie Galutin, producers.
Didn't I say that?
Anne Murray, for You Needed Me. Jim Ed Norman, producer.
All right, enough of that, okay? About the Shabuzi dude, okay? Now, I'm going to show you when R. Kelly won a Grammys award, because this is a R. Kelly platform, but when R. Kelly won his Grammy, first people he was thanking, he gave a little story about how he basically started imitating Stevie Wonder. So he gave that kind of thanks because Stevie Wonder was who made that impression on R. Kelly, because R. Kelly was shy. In order for him to do what he had to do on his stage fright, he had to wear dark shades and act like Stevie Wonder so that he can block out the audience and just focus on the sound of the music. If you ever noticed it, when R. Kelly... Now, this song, Touch on You, by R. Kelly, people didn't even know R. Kelly did a lot of movie soundtracks. And people never knew this song, Touch on You, was from the movie The Nutty Professor. That's where I'm gonna go. And a lot of people don't know this man music is, this is when you say an artist has done so many creativity. They used to actually weigh you on those things today. That's why President Trump said this was the worst. It was the worst. It was really disgusting. And I could imagine what the Super Bowl gonna be like. See, it was the Nutty Professor soundtrack. He did it in the Nutty Professor, but I was gonna try to find the video to it. But that was the hottest song from the whole soundtrack.
What do I look like to you?
That's what made the soundtrack hot, is this song.
Like a fool to you. I was on my way to getting close to you until you flipped the script on me. Another personality. I was just that close to putting carrots in your ring until I beat your heart. Now you're through.
Okay, I'm gonna come out of there because they're gonna hit my video with that. We gonna just do it this way, y'all.
What do I look like to you? Like a fool to you. Like a fool to you. Getting close to you until you flip the script on me. Another personality. I was just that close to putting carrots in your way until I beat your heart. Now you threw me for the start. So you touch my way. And I fool for you till you lost my trust. Now I got the baddest thing on just the touch my way. The way I fool for you till you lost my trust. Now I've got the baddest thing on the day. You were almost in. Take you home with me until you opened up my eyes and showed me your other side. You were inches from the hole, just about to take control. Now that I know it was all a night, I got to get that wasted side. Just a touch, just a touch. And I fool for you, and I fool my trust. Lost my trust. I was just a touch away for you till you lost my trust. Now I got the baddest thing on my day. What you make you think you can lie to me? You lie to me, yeah. Get away with it. Come back down to reality. Just don't get it. I was just a touch away. And I fool for you till you lost my trust. Now I got the baddest thing on up, yeah. Just a touch. And I fool for you till you lost my trust. You lost my trust. The baddest thing on I don't trust just a touch. Never lived like the red do cheese. When all the time you was just trying to trap me. Closer and closer and closer to me. Trying to get with it like the ground and trees now. Wanna get tight like the harmonies. All you wanna do is just scheme. Riding in my gator, sitting on them things. Drinking and smoking up all my. I was just a touch, just a touch.
Lost my trust. Gotta back this thing on up. All right. Had to take a little break, y'all. So I said, let me throw on some R. Kelly and entertain you this morning. I love that song. And I just realized I just found it again. I know I used to play. I got many songs that I like of R. Kelly that I need to go back and dig up. You know, following him through his wonderful career. But I'm just saying, when we're going to talk about American Music Awards and how people accept these awards, the things they should be recognized for, the things that people should know them about their work, what new stuff did they bring to the culture here of the music. Like Bob Marley, he added to the American culture as an immigrant from Jamaica. Now, he brought reggae. Hello, Bob Marley brought the reggae, Jamaican reggae culture to the United States of America. And yes, he was recognized for it over here. His music crossed over here to United States of America. His reggae music. So when it comes to recognizing some of the people that have came as immigrants, who have brought something new to the American culture, we could recognize Bob Marley. But what did you bring, Shabuzi? You didn't bring nothing here to the American culture that ain't already been here, that you trying to imitate to our culture. You trying to imitate us as Americans. You trying to infiltrate us. You are not a real, put it this way, you didn't bring nothing real here as an immigrant. Now, if you would have came here with your so-called high life music from your Nigerian culture, one of the first generations to break that culture here, to bring that music here and bring some kind of twist to it, some kind of new sound to it, to the American, to blend it to the American culture, then that's one thing. But you didn't bring anything here. And I don't think you won that award on merit. I'm sorry. I think somebody else deserved that award, and I think that award needs to be stripped from you. I don't know who the fans are. You know, maybe you was brought by Antifa to bring that to the performance there that night. Maybe that's who was putting money in your pockets to get up there and get that award. People that's funding these things in America called, you know, to unrest, protests, and doing all kind of things to try to change our government here and bringing foreigners here. It got to be somebody from that kind of protest of Antifa. Because you didn't win that award from the American people on merit. I'm sorry. And I don't think you should keep that award. I think that award needs to be revoked and given to the right artist for whoever brought something new and creative to be honored that award. So with that being said, your girl Casey, I'm getting out of here. So you all have a wonderful and blessed morning. And I'll be back probably with you all again later. Take care. Peace.